What's up, everyone? Welcome to Manifesting Mondays, every single Monday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Had a manifestful weekend over the weekend. It's very interesting. I think my camera is a little, I don't know, I feel like all up in here or something. How are y'all doing? I'm going to be reading from Neville Goddard, the complete collection. But before I get into Neville, I always have a little bit of story time. First off, has anyone manifested anything over the weekend? You can put your stories in the comments and I'd be happy to read them, even if it's small. So, my sister and I manifested something within less than an hour over the weekend. And we were going somewhere and someone said, like, oh, when we get there, you know, X, Y, and Z is going to happen. And my sister and I both said, I was like, nope, absolutely not. This is not happening. This is not happening. She was like, well, you better go in your mind and fix it then. So this is called revision. I've spoken about revision before. And Neville Goddard often speaks about revising a scene. Revising something in the way that you want it to happen instead of the way that you don't want it to happen. So we got some interesting news about what was going to happen when we got somewhere. I'll read the comments in a second. And we were just like, no, it's not happening that way. So we both were like, okay, we're going to go in our mind and see it different. We're going to go in our mind and see it different. And I was like, mad. And my sister's like, why are you worried about it? Like, we're changing it. It's not going to happen that way. We're changing it. See it in your mind the way that we want it. It's not happening that way. And I still was like twisted, probably because I'm PMSing. And I was just like, no, this is just like ruining my whole day. She was like, you better fix this. Go in your mind and fix this. She's like, I already see it. It's already done. It's not happening. So I was like, okay, fine. So I envisioned what was going to happen the way that I wanted it to happen and the way that she wanted it to happen. She was seeing it in her mind when we got to this place that it was going to happen in the way that we were both visualizing this, right? So I was still a little doubtful because I was just like twisted. And my sister's like, it's already done. So by the time we got to the place, the person said, oh, this, and this is going to happen. And I just started laughing because it was exactly what my sister and I visualized. Even though I was a little doubtful because I just wasn't in the mood for manifestation, we used our minds to change the scenario. And by the time we got there, the scenario was changed to the way that we wanted it to be. That's how powerful we are. And even though I was doubting it and I was just like, I don't feel like doing this, like, so I just wasn't in the mood for it, I still went in my mind and I saw it the way that I wanted it to be. By the time I got there, it was exactly as we visualized it. So that is called revising. When you hear something like, oh, I'm sorry, but, you know, there's just, tickets aren't available, tickets are sold out, see it in your mind. I got a ticket. I'm going to this show. Revise it in your mind. Whatever it is. Oh, you put a bid on the house. Sorry, other people already, outbidded you and now they're going to own the house. See the deal falling through for them. Just see yourself in the house. That is what is known as revision in the manifestation world. And you can do it. We did it in less than an hour yesterday. We revised the situation even though I didn't fully commit to it because I was not in the mood to do it. But Deanna, send me a DM, Mama. How are you? You can revise the scene to see it the way that you want it and have it come out as you want it to come out. Revision. Our minds are that powerful. Someone said something about manifestation above. Where is it? Manifested a patch of wild mint along the river to pick. You see, like, it's anything. It's anything. It's anything. It's anything that you want in your mind because everything in the seen world is unseen first in our consciousness. Good or bad. So if you are seeing something in your world that you don't like, it was seen in your mind first. Oh, what is this? I don't know if you guys can see this, but all of a sudden it's a split screen and it's like half dark up here and then light on the bottom. Fucking Instagram. So lovely to see sisters work magic together in such wonderful ways through the mental alchemy. That's exactly what it is. We turn water into wine. That's everyone. It's turning water into wine. It is transmuting energy. It is seeing things differently. Please explain concept of revision. Didn't I just explain it? I'll explain it again. Okay, it looks normal to you. Okay, good. Revision is, like I just said, say you want to buy a house and you put a bid on the house, and then the realtor calls you and said, oh, I'm sorry, someone else outbidded you, and they're going to buy the house. Oh, you just joined. Okay. So in your mind, you're like, no, that house is mine. You see it as yours. You see the outcome that you desire, and you feel it to be true. And you say, no, that something's going to happen where I'm going to get the house. They're going to call me and tell me, my realtor's going to call me, you know what? The deal fell through. The house is yours. And you're revising the scene. You're revising the scene to what you want it to be. You're revising the outcome. You're changing it. It's just like what we talked about on Saturday when I did the live with a doctor. A doctor can tell you, oh, you have stage 4 cancer, you only have this amount of time to live. A person that doesn't know about using the mind and the power of the mind will accept that to be true. Their subconscious will accept that to be true. And they're literally just like a timer. Within 3 months, they're gone. Because they have the deep belief that my body does not work for me. I do not trust my body to work for me. I do not trust that I'm able to heal. And so what happens? They die. Someone else can have a doctor say, you have 3 months to live, and someone can say, you are not God. You are not going to tell me how much time that I have. I'm going to live for 25 more years. We see the difference in the mindset. Depends on what you're thinking. If you believe to be true, my body can heal itself. If you believe that this illness is not going to take me down. If you believe that there's a cure for everything, you're going to find it. Because the subconscious, when it sinks into the subconscious mind, and you have that deeply rooted belief, feeling is the secret, that I'm going to be good, I'm going to be healthy. That can only be pushed out into your reality in the same way that someone accepts to be true. You only have 3 months to live. You accept that reality and it's pushed out into your actual reality. What was the question? Let me see. When do you know to let go because you may be forcing the situation and you are being led to a different scenario? You always let go. That's the key. You always let go. You let go of the outcome. You believe it to be true with your heart and soul, and you let go of the outcome because you understand that the universe has your back. So if for some reason you wanted this house, right, for example, and it actually didn't go through, but then your realtor calls you and said, you did not get that house. You're like, but that was my dream house. I loved it, but we actually found there was black mold in it or something like that. But we do have this house. So it's letting go to the universe so that the universe works it out for you. It's saying, I'm in a beautiful, happy marriage with the partner of my dreams, and you know who this partner is. But for whatever reason, it ends up not being them, and right behind them is someone even way better for you. So letting go. Did you hear let go and let God? Did you ever hear that quote? Let go and let God. We have to just set it and forget it. And this is a really good visual, is when you plant a seed. You plant a seed, you cover it with dirt, you water it, and you allow the sun to do its thing. You don't sit outside in the sun in your garden for 24 hours, 7 days a week, watching what happens to that seed. You water it, and you're like, I already know that it's going to grow. The sun is going to make it grow. I don't have to think about it. In a week from now, maybe a little sprout's going to be there. In a week from now, maybe there's going to be 2 inches of a little shrub. You set it and forget it. You let go and you let God. You plant the seed and you walk away. When we plant the seed in our subconscious mind, we don't have to dwell on it 24 hours a day. We just say, I already know that this is done. I trust the outcome. Even if it's not in the way that I think that it should be. I know, I have faith that the best possible scenario is what is going to manifest. You plant your seed, drop it in the soil, you cover it up, you water it. Watering your subconscious is maybe you meditate once a day or twice a day, and you see your manifestation in your mind. The universe then conspires to bring all these puzzle pieces together for you in the best possible outcome. Because a lot of times you'll say, like, be careful what you wish for, because your thoughts are that powerful. Because sometimes you think it's what you want, and then you get it and you're like, this isn't what I wanted. This isn't what I wanted. I told you this before a while ago. I manifested someone to be obsessed with me. And I was like, this is not what I wanted. And the universe is like, yes, it is. This is what you said you wanted. You wanted this person to be obsessed with you. This was like 2 years ago or 3 years ago. The person was obsessed with me and I wanted to jump out a window. Our words are our wand. We are so powerful. And I thought that I wanted this person to be obsessed with me. And they were. And I was like, get away from me. So it's about being specific, right, for all the things that you want. And then the universe will finally deliver it to you exactly in the way that you asked for it. I asked for this person to be obsessed with me. And then, lo and behold, they were acting crazy, obsessed, and jealous, and calling me 100 times a day. I'm like, this is not what I wanted. And the universe is like, yes, it is. You said you want this person to be obsessed with you. And now this is what you got. So again, be careful what you wish for. So now we're going to get into Neville. This split screen, you guys can't see it right now, but it's driving me crazy. Neville Goddard, the complete collection. But you don't want your cheeseburgers, Mama? He doesn't want to use breakfast this morning. Okay, this is chapter 2. I don't know what book this is because they're all books mixed together. Dual nature of consciousness. I of myself can do nothing. The Father within me, he doeth the work. I think that is a pretty easy one. You have a split screen too? I don't know what this is. Anything to just distract. Instagram will do anything to distract. I myself can do nothing. The Father within me, he doeth the work. So we can do nothing without our consciousness. Okay, some people see a split screen, I guess. The Father within me, the Father within me is our subconscious mind. Instafon, exactly. I, objective consciousness, of myself can do nothing. The Father, the subconscious, he doeth the work. Because if we don't understand the subconscious and conscious mind, you won't really understand what I'm talking about. The subconscious mind is our computer. It's where all of our programming is stored. If we don't like something in our three-dimensional reality, we have to change something within the programming of our computer, just like a regular computer. If you have a game uploaded in there and you want to play a different game, you can't play the other game until you upload it. It's the same thing. And if you no longer want that old game, say you're like, I don't want Monopoly on this, it's taking up too much room in my computer, delete it. It's the same thing with our programming. If we have a program that is creating unfavorable things, I'm not worthy, I'm not chosen, I am poor, whatever it is, whatever your I amness is, that program needs to be quote unquote deleted. So when we reprogram the subconscious mind the way we would reprogram a computer or program a computer, it's the same analogy, or it's the same thing that is your mind. The subconscious is all the memories. The subconscious is that you're not good enough. The subconscious is my mother or father never paid attention to me. The subconscious is I was abused. The subconscious is I am, not worthy or not chosen, all those things. That is the subconscious mind. By changing that, you change the way your reality shows up in your three-dimensional world. So the subconscious is that in which everything is known, in which everything is possible. to which everything goes, from which everything comes, which belongs to which all have access. What we are conscious of is constructed. Where is it? Constructed out of what we are not conscious of. So think about that. What we are conscious of, which is what I'm seeing right now. I'm conscious of being live. I'm conscious of seeing my plants. I'm conscious of, saying I'm having a great day. I am conscious of what is constructed out of what we are not conscious of. So whatever my world is constructed by the things that I don't even know are in there. So doing the theta healing with Tiffany, when I do the sessions with her, she pulls out the things that I am not even conscious of that are affecting my reality. My last session with her was all about my eating disorder. Of course, I'm conscious of the eating disorder thing, but it was the reasons behind it that I'm not conscious of, that I am driven by, that I have this eating disorder. So there's things that we are not aware of that we are fully operating from. Like your whole computer, you have no idea why your computer does what it does. Because there's all these programs inside of the hard drive that are allowing your computer to do X, Y, and Z. In the same way that our supercomputer in our mind, there's a million programs in there running. You're not aware of all of them. You don't know exactly what's programmed in your computer for it to do the things that it does. Your subconscious is the same way. We have all this information stored in our subconscious mind that causes all the things in our conscious reality. If you don't like the job that you have, if people don't show up for you, if you're not in a happy and loving relationship, your computer programming somewhere is, I am not worthy of love, right? Your computer programming somewhere is, I am never chosen. Your computer programming somewhere is, I am not good enough to have the job that I want. So again, what we are conscious of is constructed out of what we are not conscious of. So once you think about, what is it that I come from every day? There's a lot of people that are constantly in a state of victimhood. So their reality makes them a victim. So if you finally realize, wow, I do think about, or not that I even think about, but I do feel I'm not good enough. I do feel that, I'm annoying, so I shouldn't really have a voice. Someone in here said that growing up, their mother would always tell them that they're annoying. So imagine growing up with that programming. I am annoying, right? So if you come from that programming of I am annoying, you're going to minimize yourself a lot. You're not going to reach your highest potential because you're afraid that if you vocalize something, like maybe you sound annoying, or you're not going to love someone in the way that you can really love them because you're like, well, I don't want to annoy you. Like people, for example, this drives me insane. If I'm seeing a guy and he texts me and he was like, oh, I don't want to bother you. Like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, am I bothering you? That's programming from somewhere in your childhood that you were a bother to someone, or that you weren't wanted around. That insecurity stems from all the way back there. All of our insecurities do. Most of them do. The majority of them do. So when you have a person that's just like, oh, I'm sorry to bother you, or they don't really have a voice, it's because somewhere in their programming that was believed to be true. So again, what we are conscious of is constructed out of what we are not conscious of. There are so many things hiding in the subconscious that make our reality what it is now. So if you want to change your reality, you have to change your programming. The Theta Healing with Tiffany was probably the most powerful one that I've done. There is hypnosis that reprograms the subconscious mind. There is energy work that you can do. There's EMDR therapy. There's Psych K. There is listening to Reprogramming the Subconscious Mind audios at night through YouTube. I listen to them every night. Last night was Manifesting Abundance. I like to use the time that I sleep to reprogram my mind with whatever it is that I want to come into my life. Right? Okay. Not only do our subconscious assumptions influence our behavior, but they also fashion the pattern of our objective existence. They alone have the power to say, let us make man objective manifestations in our image after our likeness. So if your subconscious mind is saying, like, let us make man in the objective manifestation in our image after our likeness. QHTT is very beneficial. Thank you. Anybody else that has, can you suggest exactly what to listen? It depends on what you want to reprogram. So if you are manifesting love in your life, if you're manifesting abundance or wealth, or if you're manifesting health for yourself, if you're manifesting pain relief, you literally just type that in and put in meditations for attracting money, manifestation for attracting my soulmate, whatever it is. You put that on and you find one that resonates with you. Like sometimes some of the sounds, I'm like, oh, I don't like this. So I'll find another one. And just listen to the ones that I can't really see. Does all that reprogramming really work? Well, how do you think I did it? Like, it's not a matter of if it works. Scientifically, it's proven this is the way that our matrix system is created, is through thought and feeling. So it's not a matter of my opinion of someone that's just reading a bunch of Neville Goddard books and books about the subconscious mind. Like there's science and literature behind this for thousands and thousands of years. This isn't just like people call it New Age. People that say that are so dumb and uneducated. You don't know anything about what New Age is, because this ain't it. Reprogramming the subconscious mind is based on science. It's not just something someone made up somewhere. Elmer Locke's, his meditations are great. Craniosacral was also great for calming my nervous system for a very dysfunctional childhood. I haven't done craniosacral in a really long time. And I did it, and I was younger when I did it, so I don't even know. I didn't know what I was really expecting from it because I didn't know about this stuff. So I got to try craniosacral again. My mom started taking Yaya CMOS and she got the zoomies. I bet she did. Thoughts are actual medicine. Benny. Okay. The whole of creation is asleep within the deep of man. I'm going to read this again because the sentence is, it helped me tremendously. Craniosacral. I got to try it again. The whole of creation is asleep within the deep of man. All of creation is asleep within the deep of man, which is our subconscious mind. Once we understand that all the things that we want to create are literally just deep in the mind, then you understand how powerful you are. Can someone pin the book and author? Karen, are you in here? Best is also official to reprogram the subconscious mind. I've been using this for my clients for 23 years. Can you explain that to us, please, Dr. G? Okay. So the whole of creation is asleep within the deep of man and is awakened to objective existence by his subconscious assumptions. What are your subconscious assumptions? Or thank Karen. Killing it as always. There's the book. I pinned it. So, our subconscious assumptions, again, I talk about this every single live, and I just talked about it a few minutes ago. What do we assume to be true about ourselves? What do you believe to be true? I was running on I am not good enough for a very long time, which is why I am a perfectionist. I've been a perfectionist my whole life because one of my parents made me never feel like I was ever good enough. No matter what I did, no matter what my sister ever did, it was not good enough. So then that is what manifested into this reality is I'm the best at everything that I do because of that programming of me not being good enough. So that is a subconscious assumption that I am not good enough. So everything that I do, I go above and beyond. Right? I was one, not anymore, right? So that's how deep it goes. That all the decisions that we make now are a result of our subconscious assumptions, what we assume to be true about ourselves. So a lot of people are agreeing, same thing. My sister always said my dimples were a deformation. Programming. One of my friend's brothers would always say that I have thunder thighs. So I always had like muscular legs. I was always an athlete. I was always a dancer. And that stuck with me forever. So that helped with my eating disorder. These are all the things that are our subconscious assumptions. What do you believe about yourself to be true? If it's I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, things like that. Every decision that you make on a subconscious level is running from that program. Just like you're a computer. If you have Monopoly uploaded into the computer, the only game that your computer can play is Monopoly. In the same way that the only game that I can play is I'm not worthy game. Right? So when you come from that space, your reality is created from that space. Just like I'm like, I want to play Jeopardy. And you're typing in Jeopardy and nothing's coming up on your computer. It's not programmed in there. So if I want to play the game of I am worthy and I am amazing and I am chosen, it's not uploaded in my computer. So when I finally start to do the reprogramming work, the I am worthy, the I am not chosen starts to get smaller and smaller and smaller when you're very consistent with reprogramming your mind. And then the I am worthy, the I am chosen, the I am loved starts to grow bigger and bigger and bigger. Until the I am worthy and the I am chosen gets so small that it's no longer the dominant thought. So then watch your reality shift when you start to change the way that you think. That's just the way that this game works, that this matrix system works. Let me see. Now I wonder if that's why I have this big beard. Ben, it probably is. You don't want anybody to see your dimples. And on a subconscious level, because your family member said that your dimples are a deformation, you subconsciously were like, oh, I just want to have a beard. But underneath all of that is I look deformed. So I need to cover my face with this hair. And maybe it was never a conscious thought that you're thinking of that. But you're just like, oh, I look better with facial hair. Everyone loves dimples. Everyone does love dimples. Dimples are cute. Oh, dimples are so cute. I love dimples. My nephew used to have dimples when he was little, and they would make me absolutely insane. And now my nephew is the most gorgeous human being that ever will walk Earth. Okay. So the whole of creation is asleep deep within the man and is awakened to objective existence by our subconscious assumptions. We just spoke about the subconscious assumptions. Within that blankness we call sleep, there is a consciousness in unsleeping vigilance. And while the body sleeps, this unsleeping being releases from the treasure house of eternity the subconscious assumptions of man. Prayer is the key which unlocks the infinite storehouse. That's a lot for me to take in right now. I literally just open the book. I always tell you guys this. I open the book and I just start reading. So sometimes Neville is a little bit of word soup that I'm like, oh, I gotta untangle this shit. Okay, so sleep. Thank you, Dr. G. Sleep. The most powerful time to manifest is as you're falling asleep, which is called SATS, which is the state akin to sleep. As you're falling asleep, many people, or probably majority of people, will utilize that time of falling asleep to think about, oh, I got to pay this bill. I can't stand this person. All the things that went wrong in your day is usually reserved for the quiet time. One of the only very quiet times you have in your day is while you're falling asleep. That is the absolute worst time that you can use to think about all the shitty things that happen, because that is what impresses the subconscious mind. So if you're talking about, I got to pay this bill, I got all this money is going here, what am I going to do? Why is the situation happening like this? You're in this victim state. That is only helping you to reprogram to program the mind further into victimhood. So the time state akin to sleep is when you should be manifesting all the things that you do want. So this is talking about within that blankness we call sleep, because when we go to sleep we think that it is blankness, but there are so many things happening while we are asleep, whether we're astrally traveling somewhere, whether you're listening to a TV all night. That is reprogramming your mind, or programming your mind rather, with complete garbage. Think about all the things that are on TV. If there's a show that comes on talk about murder, or if the news is on and it's talking about all the war and everything, that's storing that within your subconscious mind. So if you truly want to change the way that you think, your sleep is not blankness. There is a lot happening with your sleep. And if you want to reprogram, you can listen to the audios while you're asleep, as you're falling asleep. The affirmations last night that I was listening to was like, I'm a money magnet, and it was just like affirmation after affirmation. I'm abundant in all things that I do. And all night long, my subconscious mind, even though I am asleep and I'm not aware of hearing this, my subconscious mind does not sleep. So while I am sleeping, my mind is being programmed with exactly what I want it to be programmed with. I'm not listening to TV and the news and talking about the war in Russia or whatever trash is going on. That is why it is called TV programming, because it is programming the minds of people that are in a certain brainwave frequency that is hypnotic. When you are in a state of hypnosis, that is when your subconscious mind is most impressionable for change. So people go into a hypnotic state while watching TV. It's just like you're in a trance. In the same way that when you're scrolling mindlessly on Instagram or any Facebook or whatever social media, and you're seeing all this garbage, and that's just being programmed and programmed. The world is not a safe place. The world is dangerous. The world is going to end. All these things. It's the end of the world, right? I listen to binaural frequencies. They're awesome too. As you first wake up, your mind is in alpha. Count 5 things you're grateful for, and your life will drastically improve. Benny does that every single day. Name 5 things that you're grateful for. It doesn't have to be anything significant. You don't have to put a lot of time into it. I'm grateful for all my bracelets. I'm grateful that I woke up this morning. I'm grateful that my back feels amazing. I'm grateful that the sun is out today. Name 5 things you're grateful for. Go. Start your day. So the two best times to manifest are as you're falling asleep, or that state as you're waking up. Thinking about it, when you're still in between dream and awake, that is another great time, which is the same thing. You're in between dream and awake with falling asleep, and you're in between dream and awake as you're waking up. Those are the best times to impress your subconscious with what you want. Think of a scene of what it is that you want, whether it's being in an amazing relationship or marriage, or it's having 5 kids with the most perfect house, or it's living on the beach. Create your scene, and then see it over and over again as you're falling asleep. See it over and over again as you're waking up to start your day. Okay? I'm grateful for you too. Thank you for listening. Okay. Prayer is the key. Okay. The conscious mind reasons inductively from observation, experience, and education. It therefore finds it difficult to believe what the 5 senses and inductive reason deny. So just think about that. The conscious mind reasons from education. Think about that. We go in school and they program the minds of children from a very young age. I always talk about this quote too. Show me the boy until he's 7 and I'll show you the man. Show me the boy until he's 7 and I will show you the man. Why? Because our subconscious minds are most impressionable from the age of birth to the age of 7. All of our programming really stems from those young ages. A lot of really volatile things happened when my parents separated when we were 3, 5, and 6. So look at that time. My parents battled each other at that time. So I learned that love isn't safe. So I learned that maybe I'm not wanted or chosen by my parents, because one was leaving, one was here. They were pushing us back and forth. Show me the boy until he's 7 and I'll show you the man. Right? Yes, Bruce Lipton. But I think it was said by, I don't know if it was someone in, I forget where that originated, but it was like from 400 years ago, that quote. So think about the importance of that. The conscious mind reasons inductively from observation. What are the things that we see? What are the things that we experience? And education. What are we being educated with? Even when you're young and you want to teach your children, if you go down too far from those houses, you'll be kidnapped. Or like things that are fear-based. That programs the minds of children to always be fearful or to live in a state of anxiety, which then what? It creates those actual scenarios or something similar to it. The subconscious reasons deductively and is never concerned with the truth or falsity of the premise, but proceeds on the assumption of the correctness of the premise and objectifies results which are consistent with the premise. So the subconscious doesn't give a shit what you think. The subconscious doesn't care what you believe to be true. It just gives it to you. It's like a waitress. The waitress doesn't care if you're going to order 3 ice cream sundaes. She just gives you the order. Your subconscious mind is the same thing. Your subconscious doesn't care. Your subconscious is going to tell you shouldn't be thinking that. Your subconscious is just like a sponge. If you tell it you're sick all the time, your subconscious says, okay, you're sick all the time. If you tell your subconscious, I am so loved all the time, I'm in an amazing relationship, the subconscious says, okay, you're so loved and you're in an amazing relationship. The subconscious doesn't care. It's not there to judge us. It's our supercomputer. Far greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. That means far greater is he. So far greater is God that is in you than he that is in the world. So everything in the world, in our world, let's say, exists because of he that is in here. He is the greatest, and he will not judge. God, consciousness, universe, one, whatever label that you term, the Almighty. Far greater is he that is in here in you than he that is in the world. Everything in the world is just a result of he in here. So there is nothing greater. So if you begin to use your subconscious mind, your God, your Father, to your greatest advantage instead of your greatest disadvantages, your world starts to shift with that belief system. This was kind of a little bit of a tough one. The only ideas they subconsciously reject are your ideas of them, which they could not wish to be true of anymore. So our subconscious is only going to reject things that we don't believe to be true anymore. In the same way that if someone is never in a good relationship, it's very difficult for them to believe, I am loved. Your subconscious will reject it. Until you reprogram your mind to believe that you are always loved, your subconscious mind will be like, no, you're not. They'll never choose you. She's always going to leave you. She's always going to cheat on you. He's always going to treat you like shit. Your subconscious will reject anything that you do not believe at a core level to be true. But once you change the subconscious mind, everything else starts to change around you, and your subconscious will accept that to be true. But it takes reprogramming. It's like uploading a game into a computer. You can't upload a game into a computer 25% and think that you're going to play the game. There's still 75% that needs to be uploaded. It'll say, your computer will just say 25%, 26%, 29%. And when you finally get to 100%, you can play that game. And it's the same thing with your subconscious. If you're working all the time on uploading the programming of I am loved and I am chosen, if you're only at 25% and 75% is still the belief that I'm not loved, your subconscious is going to reject it until you do enough work, until that thought is greater than the thought that I am not worthy. Then your whole world's going to start to shift. People are going to start to show up differently. Some people might leave your life because that programming doesn't resonate with them anymore. The frequencies, the wavelengths that you're sending out are now sending out the wavelengths of I am loved, I am chosen. So people are going to start to show up in your reality that way. But when you're at 25%, those people that are still in your life that are treating you like shit, that don't treat you as you want to be treated, they're still going to stick around. But the second that you start to upload more than that programming, other people are going to start to show up. Maybe those people will change. Or maybe all of a sudden they don't resonate with you anymore. So those wavelengths that are like this, all the people that are on that same wave are going to be in your life. But the people that are in the wavelength like this, they're not. It's not a match. So that's why from the beginning, someone asked, when do you know when to let go of your manifestation? You always let go of it. Because whatever is going to be on that new wavelength is going to show up for you. And maybe it's the people that are in your life that are shifting with you, or maybe they're shifting out of your life, and other people that are on that same exact little wave are going to come to you because it is a match. So we're going to stop there today. And I hope that you guys have a beautiful Monday. I'll see you, today's Monday. So I'll see you on Wednesday night at 9 o'clock. Vibes recognize vibes. I've been dropping the old waves in people. It's just what's going to happen when you change your subconscious mind, when you change your waves, and your waves look different. You're going to attract people that have the same kind of waves. You're not going to continue to attract the people that are on the old waves. Maybe those are big waves like this, the ups and the downs, but you don't have that same wave anymore. So those people are going to go, or they're going to change with you. They're going to become this calmer wave. I think that's a good way to put it, to visualize. But have a beautiful day. I will repost this if you want to watch it. And let's get it. Use our mind to our greatest advantage. We hold the key. Nobody else holds the key. Nobody else holds the key. Lisa, I love you. Nobody else holds the key to our reality except for us. That's it. Nobody else. That's it. Have the most amazing day. I will see you all on Wednesday. Adios.